Hare Krishna. Let us understand Bhagavad Gita chapter by chapter, section by section. To begin with, let us offer our prayers to our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and to the Supreme Lord. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today let us understand chapter 2, section number 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. In this section we will be covering shloka number 39 to 53. There are totally 5 sections in this chapter. Those who have not seen the previous sections, I request you to go through those videos. And chapter 1 has 3 sections. It is good to go through these sections for a better understanding. This particular section is entitled Buddhi Yoga. So let us understand this section. Lord Krishna says, Yesha te bihita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shruno buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Thus far, I have described to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Now listen to the knowledge of yoga, whereby one works without fruitive result. O son of Pritha, when you act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So till now, Lord Krishna had described an analytical study of body and soul. And now Krishna is telling, I will be describing you Buddhi Yoga. By knowing this, you can free yourself from bondage of works. In the first chapter, if we recall, Arjuna had given many reasons for not fighting. He had told that when we kill all these soldiers, kings and all the friends and relatives, women will be unprotected, they will be exploited by men, and as a result there will be Varna Sankara population. Because of Varna Sankara population, who will be degraded population, there will be no religious performances and the entire society will degrade and go to hell. Because of being cause of such population, we will also reside in hell in future. So better let us not fight. So this was the reason given by Arjuna for not fighting. So here clearly Lord Krishna is telling that thus far I described to you that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. We all existed in the past, we all are present now, and we shall continue to live forever. So it's better to perform your duty and kill all these assembled soldiers for a good cause, for a religious cause. And in that way, if you win, you will enjoy the kingdom. If you lose, you will go to heaven and enjoy. In any case, now I will be describing to you Buddhi Yoga. By performing your duty in knowledge of yoga, you will free yourself from results of all your work. So in that way, Krishna is now going to explain Buddhi Yoga, which is very important for us to understand in Bhagavad Gita. So here Krishna has referred Yesha te bihita Sankhye. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study. So this Sankhya has nothing to do with an atheistic Kapila who had described Sankhya Yoga without referring to the Vedic scriptures. He was an atheist. But there was one more incarnation of Lord Krishna called Kapila Deva, who instructed his mother Devahuti with true Sankhya philosophy, which is nothing but same Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So that is correct philosophy which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sankhya Yoga described by true Kapila, the incarnation of Lord Krishna, is same as Buddhi Yoga which Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, which is nothing but Bhakti Yoga. But the Sankhya philosophy described by atheistic Kapila has nothing to do with the topics discussed by Lord Krishna here. So, Lord Krishna explains, Neha Vikrama Nashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So Buddhi Yoga is so nice. Krishna is telling that in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. Even a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So in ordinary material activities, unless we complete that work, we will not get the result of that particular work. If there is some failure, we'll have to redo the whole thing. But in Buddhi Yoga, even if you do not complete your Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga fully in this life, whatever we have done is permanent. Suppose I complete Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga 10% in this life, it will continue after this life in the next life. So it will have permanent effect. And those who work in this Buddhi Yoga, they are no loss. They will be protected from greatest dangers of fear, because they will be freed from the resultant reactions of work, and they will be guaranteed human life after this body if they do not completely perform Buddhi Yoga in this particular life. They will be given a human life for continuing their Buddhi Yoga in next life. So therefore there is no loss, and they will be protected from dangerous type of fear. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. This life is full of dangers, and to overcome all the dangers, we need protection. So this protection we get from Buddhi Yoga. So Lord Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhe rekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayina. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Those who are ignorant about this Buddhi Yoga, they think that we are this body and they want to enjoy bodily pleasures. For enjoying bodily pleasures, they work hard to earn money and buy various sense gratificatory objects. They want to own their own home, they want vehicles, they need friends, relatives, and then they want to enjoy the various senses by obtaining all those particular sense objects. So Krishna is telling, Bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Those who don't have clear goal of life, their buddhi is distracted, many-branched, because they don't know what is aim of life. Everyone is searching for happiness. Unless we know that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul, part of the Supreme Lord Krishna, we will keep wandering in this material world thinking that I am this body, and we'll be running behind sense objects. So, Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kuru nandana. But those who know that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul, part of Krishna, their aim is one. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose means they know clearly I am not the body, I am soul. My duty is to please the super soul, the Supreme Lord Krishna. I am part of him. Just like by watering the roots of the tree, we can satisfy all the branches, leaves, twigs and flowers. All the parts of the tree can be satisfied just by watering the roots. Similarly, Krishna is the root of everything. He is the Adi Purusha. Just by pleasing Krishna, we can satisfy everyone, including ourselves. So therefore, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one, that is to please Krishna. Further, Krishna says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipashtitaha vedavadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinam kamatmana svargapara janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bhulam bhogaishvarya gatin prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. By desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So Krishna is here condemning those who are ignorant. He is telling that men of small knowledge are very much attracted by the flowery words of the Vedas. In Vedas especially, there is a section of Veda called Karma Kanda, where various yajnas are mentioned for achieving sense pleasures in heavenly kingdom, like Jyotishtoma yajna. There are many homas which will elevate one to heavenly planets. And in heaven, one can enjoy various sensual pleasures for a long period of time and drink a kind of juice called Soma Rasa, which will make one very strong. So in this way, people want to enjoy sensual pleasures. They are attracted by this flowery language of Vedas. Actually, Vedas want to gradually elevate one from material platform to spiritual platform. So initially, those who are interested in sense enjoyment, the Vedas want to attract them to perform some yajna to please some devatas, so that they will start accepting the authorities. Once they are accustomed to accepting the authorities, gradually they will understand that there is a supreme authority, Lord Krishna, to whom we have to surrender, and gradually they will take up to devotion. So this flowery language of the Vedas is a gradual method of elevating one from an ignorant mode of life to gradually bring him to spiritual consciousness. So Krishna is telling men of small intelligence are attracted by flowery languages of the Vedas. So you don't be attracted by those flowery language of Vedas. So Krishna is telling, Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apaharita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhavna Vidiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So those who are attached to sense enjoyment, those who are ignorant about who am I, they are not at all interested in performing devotion. Why? Because their mind is dragged here and there and they are searching for sensual pleasures. So their whole attention is absorbed in material energy. They want to satisfy their material, the hunger and their lusty desires. They want to enjoy bodily pleasures. So they don't care for knowing who am I, who is God, what is the purpose of creation. This type of thinking does not arise in their minds. Further, Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryogakshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. Be free from all dualities, from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So Krishna is clearly telling that Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Vedas mainly deal with three modes of material nature. Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna, rise above the modes of nature. Nirdvandho Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. You be established in the true self, knowledge of the self, that you are spirit soul part of Krishna. Krishna clearly describes this in the 15th chapter. Krishna says, Mamaiva Amsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All jivas are my amshas. So we are all parts of Krishna and our duty is to just please Krishna. This understanding is called Buddhi Yoga. So Krishna explains, Yavanartha Udapane Sarvata Samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So with an example, Krishna is explaining, Yavan artha udapane sarvatah samplutodake. In villages, there are different ponds. One pond is meant for drinking water, one more pond is meant for washing clothes, one more pond is meant for maybe washing the animals. Like that, different ponds serve different purposes. But when we go to a great reservoir of water, such as river or ocean, we can, especially a river, we can drink water, we can wash clothes, we can wash the animals, so we can do everything in the great reservoir of water. In the same way, tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Similarly, all the purposes of Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaisha sarvair ahameva vedyo vedantakrit vedavideva chaham. Krishna says, I am the Supreme Lord seated in the hearts of every living being, and Vedaishta sarvair ahameva vedyo. By reading all the Vedas and understanding all the Upanishads, you are supposed to know me only as the cause of everything, and you are supposed to surrender to me. Vedaishta sarvair ahameva vedyo vedantakrit vedavideva chaham. I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the knower of the Vedas. So ultimately the purpose behind all the Vedic rules and regulations is actually to make us understand that we are parts of Krishna, eternal servants of Krishna, and we have to please Krishna by all our activities. That is the purpose behind all the rules and regulations. So Arjuna was worried about killing elders and killing guru and killing all the friends and relatives. We will get sinful reactions and we will suffer in hell. Krishna is telling all those rules are secondary. You just please me. I desire this fight. I want to kill all of them. And because I have desired it, your duty is just to follow me. And in that way, you will be free from all reactions. So this is called Buddhi Yoga. Further Krishna says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhor mate sangostva karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Here Arjuna was attached, thinking that by killing all of them we will get sin, and why should we kill elders and enjoy. He had many reasons for not fighting, so he was attached for not doing his duty. But Krishna is telling, Karmanyeva adhikaraste, you have the adhikara as a Kshatriya, it's your duty to fight. Ma phaleshu kadachana, don't worry about victory or failure. You just do your duty. And ma karma phala hetur bhor, never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. Actually, success in any activity, there are many factors. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vividham vividascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Krishna says there are 5 factors for achieving success in any work. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividascha prithak cheshta. The place of action, adhishtanam tatha karta, the performer, and then vividascha prithak cheshta, different types of endeavor, karanam cha prithak vidham, different types of instruments, and finally Daiva, the Supreme Lord himself. So unless the Supreme Lord sanctions, even though other factors may be good, we will not get the results. So we should not think that it's because of me, I worked hard and I achieved it. No, there are 5 factors, and the 5th factor, the Supreme Lord himself, that is the most important factor in success. So we should not think that I am the cause of some success or I am the cause of some failure. So we should not think that we are the cause of the results of our activities. So further Krishna says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna. Perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. So a devotee of Lord Krishna, he knows that my duty is to just please the Supreme Lord. Whatever may be the result, I have nothing to do. I just have to carry out the order of the Lord and just leave the results to Him, because He will decide what result has to be delivered for those actions. So Krishna is telling such evenness of the mind is called yoga. And further Krishna says, Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvichha kripana phala etavaha. O Dhananjaya, rid yourself of all fruitive activities by devotional service and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So clearly Krishna is telling, Buddhau sharanam anvichha durena hi avaram karma. Rid yourself of all fruitive activities by devotional service. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. You are worried about all these friends and relatives and what will happen to the society, and there will be hellish situation created and we will go to hell in future. Don't worry about all these things. Durena hi avaram karma. Give up all these fruitive results. Fruitive results means thinking for one's own personal sense enjoyment. We should not think in that way. What Krishna wants from me, we should learn this from a spiritual master, from a guru who will teach us how to live and how to please Krishna. Just by obeying the orders of the spiritual master and learning how to please Krishna, we will be situated in Buddhi Yoga. Otherwise it's very difficult. This is very, very confidential knowledge. In order to understand how to please Krishna, who am I, and what are the best activities which will liberate me, we have to approach a bona fide spiritual master, surrender to him, please him, and then learn how to serve Krishna. So as described in previous sections, there are 4 authorized paramparas coming from Lord Krishna himself: the Brahma Sampradaya, the Sri Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya, and the Kumara Sampradaya. So Srila Prabhupada, who has commented on Bhagavad Gita as it is, so he is from the Brahma Sampradaya. So if we surrender to Srila Prabhupada and follow his instructions, we can become free from all fruitive reactions and connect ourselves with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and be eternally happy. So further Krishna says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukruta dushkrute tasmad yogaya yujjasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is the art of all work. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Very nice. Krishna is telling the art of all work is connecting ourselves with Supreme Lord Krishna. Whatever we may do, we have to do for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. In this way, we can rid ourselves of both good and bad actions even in this life. Further Krishna says, Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tektva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchantya. The wise engaged in devotional service take refuge in the Lord and free themselves from the cycle of birth and death by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world. In this way, they can attain to that state beyond all miseries. Actually, as long as we live in this material world, in this material body, there are laws of karma. Every second we are performing actions. There may be good actions, which is called punya karma. There may be bad actions, which is called papa karma. And buddhi yoga, acting in devotional service, is called akarma. All these things will be nicely described by Lord Krishna in the 3rd chapter. So, those who are wise, they will always act in buddhi yoga, so that they will not be bound up by the reactions of work. Both good action and bad action, both will produce reactions. And to experience the reactions, one has to take birth again. In that way, we become bound by actions and reactions, and we'll have to keep taking birth and dying again and again and again. Only by buddhi yoga we can get out of this cycle of birth and death. So that will be more clearly described in upcoming chapters. So, Krishna says, Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. So Krishna is clearly explaining that this material world is full of illusion. Material energy is so powerful that it makes us forget our relationship with the Supreme Lord, make us forget our true identity as part and parcel of Krishna. So because of this illusion, we are wandering in different species of life and different planets, trying to enjoy material pleasures. Those who are intelligent, they pass out of this dense darkness of illusion and dense forest of delusion, and they will be wherever they are. They are not bewildered by so-called happiness and distress of this material world. They are fixed in their aim, and they perform only devotional activities. Then Shruti Vipratipanna te yada stasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhis tada yogam avapsyasi. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. So, very clearly Krishna is telling that one has to rise above the flowery language of the Vedas. One should not be attracted by the so-called yajnas and homas which will give one result and birth in heavenly planets, so-called good birth and opulence and wealth. There are many yajnas, many people, they worship Durga and they want wealth and good progeny. These kind of flowery yajnas and homas recommended in the Vedas, they're all for less intelligent people, because we are not the body, and as long as we have the body, we keep suffering. So Krishna is telling you should get out of this body, you should get liberated and be situated in your eternal position in the spiritual world. That is the aim of life, not enjoying so-called illusory material pleasures and suffer in this material world. So intelligent people, they will not be attracted by these material pleasures recommended in the Vedas. They fix their consciousness upon the Supreme Lord. They worship the Supreme Lord by learning the art of bhakti under the guidance of a pure devotee, a spiritual master. In that way, one will gradually elevate and then get liberated and situated in his true Swarupa, one's original constitutional position as an eternal servant of Krishna. So, in this way, this section ends here. We will see next what happens in the next section. Hare Krishna.